What's up, Football Daily, and welcome back to the channel where we're looking at 10 players destined to leave their clubs. These stars could be on the move at any moment, so let's get into it. Number 10, Rodrigo De Paul. For the second summer running, Rodrigo De Paul has been constantly linked with a move away from Udinese. 12 months ago, it was Leeds United that were chasing the Argentine international. However, after a season which has elevated De Paul to even greater heights, Champions League football now looks like a minimum for the 27-year-old. De Paul was simply imperious for Les Abrete. Aside from scoring 9 and assisting 9 in Serie A, he would dribble past more players and complete more passes into the final third than any other player in the Italian top flight. Only AC Milan's Hakan Çalhanoğlu completed more than his 164 shot creating actions, while just Torino's Andrea Bellotti drew more fouls across the campaign. In fact, there is hardly an attacking metric that doesn't feature De Paul's name among the division's best performers. Udinese once again finished in the bottom half of the table, and after 4 seasons of service, it's clearly time for the former Valencia man to level up. With a price tag of around £35 million, he won't come cheap, but the stats show he's a player destined for the very top. 9. Sander Berge. Sander Berge will be the first to accept that his £21 million record move to Sheffield United has fallen flat on its face. Berge joined the Blades in January 2020 at a period when they looked on course for Europe. 14 appearances later, and Chris Wilder's outfit ultimately finished 9th. But the Norwegian international had slowly begun to impress, with 2.8 tackles and interceptions plus 1.3 dribbles per 90. This was in keeping with his form for Genk, where he had established himself as one of the most progressive defensive midfielders in Belgium. But last season, his form evaporated along with Sheffield United's status as a Premier League club. Encouraged to push forward, Berg's shot creating actions almost tripled from 0.7 to 1.9 per 90. But he would still only register 2 goal involvements before a freak hamstring injury saw him ruled out from December onwards. Despite his fairly limited impact on English soil, the 23-year-old stock remains high. And even if new boss Slavica Jokanovic wants him to stay on, a chance back in the top flight may prove too hard to resist. Just before we move on, a quick reminder to make sure you're liked and subscribed to Football Daily with that notification bell switched on. We put videos like this out every single day, so make sure you don't miss one of them. 8. Noa Lang. Noa Lang has been on every club's radar since becoming the first player in 60 years to net a hat-trick in his debut Eredivisie start for Ajax in December 2019. But fast forward 6 months and a failed loan spell with FC Twente, plus limited opportunities in Amsterdam, meant he was off to Club Brugge for the 2021 campaign. The loan deal included a €6 million obligation to buy, which now looks like one of the bargains of the summer. Lang has lit up Belgium with 16 goals in 29 league appearances. His 3.5 shots per 90 helped Bruges stroll to their second straight First Division title, while his 2.1 key passes produced 7 assists. Just 21 years old, it's no surprise to see his name back in the transfer columns. And judging by the latest reports, Leeds United are determined to capture the Dutch under-21 star. Any deal, however, could see Bruges make over 4 times their initial investment. Having only just signed him permanently, the Belgian Giants are keen to hold on to him, but with serious money on the line, his time in the Pro League looks to be approaching a premature end. 7. Harry Winks. For all Harry Winks' quality, his lack of game time at Tottenham suggests it would be a good idea for him to finally venture elsewhere. Winks has only ever appeared for the Lilywhites since breaking through 7 years ago, becoming a regular in and around the matchday squad from 2016 onwards. To date, the holding midfielder has played 109 times in the Premier League, though only 64 of those have been starts. Unfancied by Jose Mourinho, last season Winks found himself mainly appearing in European competition against lowly opposition. And despite scoring a stunner from 54 yards against Ludogorets Razgrad, his 4th goal for the club, he would still only be handed less than 900 minutes in the league. Reports are swirling that Tottenham's new sporting director, Fabio Paratici, has told Winks they will listen to offers this summer. Wolves, Aston Villa and even Manchester United have even been mooted as potential destinations. And after seeing his dreams of playing for England at the Euros go up in smoke, Winks might be wise to listen to any opportunities should they come his way. 6. Mateus Pereira. West Bromwich Albion have suffered a fairly miserable return to the Premier League, but that wasn't the fault of their playmaker Mateus Pereira. The Brazilian emerged as one of their few shining lights with 11 goals and 6 assists across the campaign. This will come as no surprise to those at the Hawthorns, with Pereira registering 24 goal involvements the season prior as the Baggies sealed promotion from the Championship. But once they were back in the big leagues, only Sheffield United managed fewer than West Brom's 8.9 shots per 90. Yet Pereira single-handedly managed over a quarter of these, whilst also contributing 2.1 key passes as well. In fact, only 3 players in the division completed more than his 11 through balls. And his standout display will always be in that shock win away to Chelsea, where he scored 2 and assisted 2, showing everyone that the 25-year-old deserves to stay at the top level. Formerly of Sporting Lisbon, every Baggies fan must surely accept that Pereira's future lies away from the club. His agent has publicly agreed, so it's just a matter of time before that becomes a reality. 5. Houssem Aouar. Another name who is never too far from the gossip columns is Lyon midfielder Houssem Aouar. The Frenchman was heavily linked to Arsenal 12 months ago, but with the Gunners refusing to raise their offer of £35 million, he ultimately stayed put. And this season, Aouar has pushed further towards the left side of midfield, finishing on 10 goal involvements as Lyon narrowly missed out on Champions League qualification. While this might be fewer goal involvements than he managed in 2017-18 or in 2018-19, his 86% passing accuracy and 5.1 shot creating actions per 90 both rank amongst the very best playmakers in France. Without Champions League football and with Rudy Garcia no longer in the dugout, it seems inevitable that Aouar will move on this summer. The player has already admitted his time could be up with Lyon, and with a price tag set to be around the £25 million points, there should be plenty of interest in his signature. And still just 22, that could prove to be one of the bargains of the summer for whoever bites first. 4. Wilfried Zaha. It wouldn't be a transfer season without another dose of speculation over Wilfried Zaha's future. Still stuck at Crystal Palace with a contract that doesn't expire until 2023, the Ivorian has once again made it clear he wants to move on. That comes after the Eagles rumbled to another uninspiring 14th place finish, with the club now managerless and facing the loss of 11 first-team regulars. In fairness to Zaha, he's remained professional the whole time. He scored 11 last term, assisting 2 and completing over 50 carries into the box for the 4th straight season. Moved into a more central role, his insane dribbling numbers have fallen from 4.3 to 1.8 per game over the past 12 months. But with his efforts on goal increasing, he's still producing 2.9 shot creating actions per 90. So Zaha remains a credible option in attack. The question now is which club still wants him, and how much it would take for Steve Parish to let him go. Now 28, there is no chance that £80 million valuation still sticks. For Zaha's sake, let's hope Palace finally accepts a reasonable offer from a club who meets his ambition. 3. André-Frank Zambo Anguissa. The final relegated star who could be on the move is Fulham's maverick midfielder Andrei-Frank Zambo Anguissa. Originally signed during Fulham's other ill-fated Premier League return in 2018-19, an excellent loan spell with Villarreal followed by some eye-catching displays back with the Cottagers last term have earned him plenty of plaudits. He started 29 times and made 7 appearances off the bench in the top flight, completing 5 tackles and interceptions plus 2 shot creating actions per 90 from the centre of midfield. But it was his dribbling ability that really caught people's attention. Only Adama Traore and Marcus Rashford beat more players than Anguissa last term, while his 3 dribbles per game is up with the top 1% of midfielders in Europe. Though not perfect, the Cameroon international finally showed why Fulham forked out over £22 million for him 3 seasons ago. Like before, Anguissa won't have any plans to follow the West Londoners down the football pyramids. And with Arsenal and Lazio said to be going head to head for his services, it could be time for the 25-year-old to leave Fulham once and for all. 2. Danny Ings. It was reported as early as January that Danny Ings was stalling on a new contract at Southampton. With his current deal set to expire next summer, this has left the Saints in a tricky situation, with Goal claiming they won't break their wage structure to meet Ings' lofty demands. The 28-year-old is said to want a final crack at life at the highest level, having seen injury ruin his time back at Liverpool 4 years ago. Sadly for fans at the St Mary's, the former Burnley man would prove incredibly tough to replace. In 2019-20, he scored 22 in the Premier League, hitting 12 again last term as the Saints fell dangerously close to relegation. His shots may have hit a 4-year low of 2.3 per game, but with James Ward-Prowse and Che Adams the only other players to score more than 4, he was still their most attacking outlet by some distance. Ultimately, Ings looks fit for purpose at a top European side. Southampton can only hope they recoup as much of the £20 million they paid for him 2 seasons ago. 1. Florian Verst. Florian Verst is only 18, but his days at Bayer Leverkusen already look numbered. The teenager joined the club 18 months ago from FC Köln, after Die Werk self broke a long-established pact with the clubs in the North Rhine-Westphalia region not to pinch each other's academy stars. But after a stunning first professional campaign, it's clear to see why they decided to bend the rules. Wirtz made 29 Bundesliga appearances, registering 5 goals and 5 assists from either the left wing or behind the striker. He's proven to be electric with the ball at his feet, completing 4.3 dribbles and key passes per 90, a number which rose to 5.6 in the Europa League. The media have already dubbed him the next Kai Havertz. Havertz was sold for £72 million, and Wirtz's current trajectory suggests Leverkusen might one day push for a similar fee. That said, his contract currently runs until 2026. But after his star turn in Germany's recent Euro Under-21 triumph, including a double against the Netherlands in the semi-final, talk of moves to Europe's elite will only continue to grow. Watch this space. So that was our pick of 10 players destined to leave their clubs. What do you think? Have we got our selection right, and who would you included if not? And what do you think of Florian Verst? Let us know in the comments down below, and make sure you're liked and subscribed to the channel. We'll see you next time.